welcome from the Quapaw Quarter United Methodist Church, Reverend Thompson Murray.
That's the way life ought to be. You walk in the room and everybody applauds it. Good evening. Good evening. I read in the paper the other day that I was the leader of this event, and so I hurried out and bought a ticket. And I'm glad to be here. I know you're glad to be here as well. You'll be hearing from the real leaders of this event soon, and let me tell you, we have a wonderful collection of voices for justice here tonight. In addition to the remarkable people you know are going to be here, there are additional performers that have come to share in the chorus of justice. What a good thing it is for us to come together to speak very clearly of our belief that Jesse, Jason, and Damien have been in prison for 17 years for something they didn't do. My involvement with this event began when I was approached by Lori Davis and her friend John Harden about having an awareness event for the West Memphis 3. They wanted the event to happen in a relatively large, spiritually oriented place, which is what we've got at our church, complete with fresco angels. My church leaders engaged in a process of discernment, and I'm really proud that the governing body of my congregation decided that this event could happen in our sanctuary. It wasn't an easy decision for us. As we all know, the innocence of these three men is not a universally held position. There are people who think you're being insensitive to the families of the three boys who were murdered if you speak in support of the men who were convicted of this crime. And certainly no one wants to contribute to their pain, but glossing over their pain is not what this is about. We were not unconscious of these sentiments as we considered hosting the gathering, but I think the issue was settled when the senior member of our governing body, a saintly woman in her 80s, happens to be here tonight, I'm happy to say, pointed out that Jesus generally stood with those who weren't held in high regard by society. She acknowledged that we don't have the same flawless vision that Jesus had, but she thought standing in support of these three men seemed like something Jesus would do. And the debate pretty much closed with that. We decided to allow this event to happen at our church, and I wish you all could have come down there, but you all couldn't have come down there. And that's why we're here, and it's good to be here. You don't have to be in a spiritually labeled place to have a spiritually oriented gathering, and that's what this is. Speaking out for justice is a spiritual exercise. My church was willing to host Voices for Justice because, like good-hearted people of all faiths, we want to err on the side of justice. I'm really proud of my home denomination, the United Methodist Church. It has a long-standing position against the death penalty, and this case highlights the need for capital punishment to be eliminated. I'm very honored to lend my voice in support of justice for Jesse, Jason, and Damien. I commend those of you who have worked tirelessly, contributed generously, and spoken loudly in their support over these many years. They aren't needing anything more than justice, but nothing short of justice will do for them. You know, as a preacher, God bless you for being here. Let's have a good time. Let's shine some light on this painful situation, and let's all do what we can to let people know of what we think about this situation. If you don't know as much as you want to know, become more informed. Read about the trial. Talk to people. Find out for yourself what is true about this. I think you'll discover that Jesse, Jason, and Damien have nothing to hide. And then there's something else you can do. Pull out your wallet. It turns out that this event is costing a whole lot more than the $25 you paid for your seat. And we're going to take up an offering here just in a minute. I don't guess it's a coincidence that they gave the preacher this job to come out and ask for money, but we will have people with buckets in the aisles, and we need your help, and your contributions will be tax deductible, going to the nonprofit organization that is working for their defense. I'm reminded of a situation that existed in Israel about 750 years before Jesus ever came along. The situation was that the power of the government and the message of the religious community had become distorted in a manner that was really bad news for poor people. It was into that situation that the prophet Amos stepped forward and said, "Let justice flow down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream." That's what we're saying tonight. Let's enjoy it and let's speak loudly.